Okay, so today it is Sunday, January 2nd, 2021. I just watched this documentary. I think it's called Blood Brothers. Um, Let me just check it again. Yeah, Blood Brothers, Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. It's to me, it's what is take out every day. How the Che Guevara is still selling a lot of T-shirts and whatnot, right? I mean, and then we have Malcolm X, whom was able to achieve um, the engagement of most of the world at that time. So that's always like like how come one legacy is not whatever. I mean, we had an idiot over here in New York City. Was the mayor of New York for 8 years, and he tried to run for president, and he used one of the popular phrases known to El Che Guevara. That's just how much it is being like popularized, or, well, for whatever the reason. I mean, like, and but it's as if there's a lot of interest making the Honorable Malcolm X, making him like I don't know, as a boutique revolutionary. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like, how come even when he have managed to transcend the language, something to this day I cannot find. Like, I'm Mexican. I ask people, if you can you send me, I'll pay you whatever. Can you send me a copy of the autobiography of Malcolm X in my native tongue? Nobody have seen it. I know it's been translated, but it's not easy to access. Just like anything else, just like anything else. I mean, much less the work of Dr. John Henry Clark or Dr. John Ben Yoken. I mean, it's just impossible. And I've been here in the United States since 1989, and I have found African Americans that can speak, Mandarin, Japanese, German. They go to Germany often. They go whatever, but that's another topic. How, but that's just to say, how um, Malcolm X is is in this weird category. Dr. King is universal, but Malcolm X is like I mean, it's hard to explain, but I mean, the reason I'm making this short videos because I want to get this out of my chest. It's just, I wish I never had an account over there on Netflix, because the other one documentary also, I have one part of the documentary which is like a 4-part series, kind of like started talking like it was unavoidable that he was supposed to get murdered. It's like, so, I mean, there's no surprise here. I mean, like, basically everything we do, anybody do. I mean, just it gotta be curated by the whites. And it's enraging and revolting to see all these Europeans taking center stage on these documentaries. I mean, just for principle, just out of principle, they should be kept out. But whoever is paying is whoever control it, right? Whoever pay you, they're gonna control you. That's what happened with all the politicians, right? And but it is like, I mean, I have to say it. I have to say, especially this last documentary I saw on the relationship that they both got. I'm talking about Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. It was just like, wow. I mean, these crackers, they were like, I mean, like 5-minute segment. I mean, they look forever. I don't even pay attention when they're talking about it. It's just like, I mean, tell the truth. I mean, one of those things, I watch it because, I wanted to know what is it that the people are watching these days. I don't watch television for like almost 15 years. So things have gotten worse, have not gotten any better. I mean, I've seen documentaries who actually got more backbone than any of these documentaries on Netflix. But it's all about the rich, right? The rich, a great audience, so you gotta end up doing what you what his family, I'm talking about his family, feel like they have to do, in order to keep the conversation, to keep this case open in the public opinion, which is never being closed. But it is just it's just extremely sad. And what I really wanted to say was that if people wasn't to be so I mean, everybody got a calling, but besides the calling, people are doing whatever people are doing, and what to me it stuck out was that you know how Muhammad Ali, he was so young and he was so easy to be manipulated. It seemed like he did not understood who Malcolm X was. And that stuff happened to this day, there's celebrities, there's whatever. And then there's historians, then there's organizers, then there is an activist. There's everybody got a place in society, but I see that most of the time it happened that, oh, you are like not good or whatever, and because that moment when they played, um, you know, he was Muhammad Ali with Elijah Muhammad, holding an award, or trophy, or I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not Muslim exactly what it was, but he kept saying it's solid gold, and it was given to me by the Federation of Islam or something like that. I don't know. Something that Malcolm was never even interested in the first place. But you see, how evil these leaders are. You know, I have no respect for Elijah Muhammad. I don't even believe he's black. Tell the truth. I mean, like, they keep saying he's black, he's black. It's just like the one that's right now, Farrakhan. I mean, the worst leadership ever to come out. And then the reason I say I've gotta put this one right here. It's just because I'm losing my train of thought. I'm sorry. So I mean, what Malcolm wanted, it was just liberation for all Africans, and self-determination. One of the things that I've read a couple of biographies, and so I know that for most of the people did not know the amazing work that Malcolm X was doing, and he got very close, at just letting people know all over the planet, hey, it's like this is not about religion. This is not about anything. It's about respect. There's about every African, you know, get respected. That taking away that stuff that still going on. I mean, the fact that this system, um, just I mean, that's why it's called racism, because especially like black skin is automatically is used to discriminate, to criminalize, demonize. I mean, like all kinds of things. So with Malcolm, a lot of people got to actually see him, and they spoke. He spoke to everybody, even after he's dead. I mean, like, I only found out about him like maybe 20 years ago, not even, like 15, that I started listening to his speeches, and I did not even want to know who that was, because I did not want to. Like, well, it's just somebody who know exactly what he's talking about, and he's delivering with authority, and especially moral authority, which is something that it was based his whole legacy, and being integrity, and just so you know how much influence he got. As I say, I'm Mexican, and today our president our president, he got three principles: not to lie, not to steal, and not to betray. Those are the only three principles that he acts, and we cannot even do that a lot of times, as a country. And it is so simple, I'm talking about a man who's now 67, 68 years old, and spent the last 45 years of his life just in the Mexican politics and having a vision and having, you know, um, uh, making a whole plan for liberation and for, to really bring out like those 60 something million Mexicans that was left behind these past 70 years because of the U.S. interventionism, and just keep putting puppets, in charge. So it's just heartbreaking. It is very heartbreaking. Like I say, as he was holding this solid gold monument, because it was like a monument. It was not really. It was this big, and I'm yet to find anybody to condemn the NOI, because of what they done. I mean, the only one I found was the great Dr. John Henry Clark, whom actually he did a whole workshop on saying, how are we going to handle Farrakhan? I mean, he's hideous. He's hideous, and 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 just to have to give the microphone to these characters, from the NOI, like you say, well, if you talk about the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, is like, yeah. Oh, I remember why I did this. I remember because in that documentary they say like 3-4 times, Elijah taught him everything he knew, and that is a big lie. And that's why this kind of documentaries need to be um, rectified. That's not true. That's not true. It's like this feminism bullshit. It's just like constantly trying to forget that there's actually, fathers. That Malcolm had a father, and he was a Garveyite. Actually, both of his parents was, devout Garveyites, militant Garveyites, gave their life. I mean, just to. I mean, so you can get an idea, when, because to me, I mean, what I have, like I say, I read the autobiography and Marable, and now I'm reading the last one, which is like, anyway. His mother was taken to Kalamazoo, but why was she really taken there? Because I know for a fact, a lot of dissidents, a lot of people who was actually doing something great for their own peoples, ended up in mental institutions. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like Malcolm was very young, and Actually, I did not even finish reading the autobiography. I remember because I learned that it's missing 3 chapters, and I knew that, you know, Haley, um, worked for the government too. I mean, it's just kind of like, I know. I guess I have to finish reading the autobiography, but I just felt violated. I just felt like, what else he changed if he allowed them to take like 2 3 chapters out of it, and allowed to, because the one in Manning Marable, it don't make any sense. It don't really make any sense. I'm willing to bet that there were some paragraphs that it was just inserted because it don't make any sense. The thing saying that, oh, he had gay sex, or like all these bullshit. I mean, I don't remember exactly, like which ones the ones that they don't really click. But if anybody was to do um, a study of that biography, I know there's about 3 books that refuted that the they refuted that biography, which is, I mean, like, something that you know to me made it even more obvious was the fact that he died the same day the book come out. Manny Marable, after he was like 20 years he was waiting for a transplant. I forgot what kind of transplant he was waiting. He got it, very successful, and he died when the book come out. Maybe he did not get to see the final cut, and then maybe like, or maybe he saw it and maybe he threw a fit. He said, like, he noticed that they put paragraphs in it. I mean, it is a lot. It is a lot. I mean, obviously, I don't blame the family or anything, but I think they are barely coping, because it's been one after another. I mean, most people already know. Most people heard over here in New York that one of his daughters was found dead in Brooklyn just this past year. A couple months ago. So, and nobody got any information. Supposedly, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I want to hope that that there's some investigation going on, but still, but still, there's a lot that the whole family is being put through, just being the daughters of Malcolm X. That's a lot. So it's just like I say, sorry that I get too slow, but like I say, most of the people did not know about the great work. Most of the people. I mean, back then, it was like newspapers. You have to know which newspapers. You have to, uh, there was. I mean, there's a lot of way. Actually, there was people that was extremely well informed, which, I mean, to me, like, it is crazy now, because I mean, people are so ignorant now that we got internet, but I feel like there was a lot more people informed back then, when you have to actually go and buy the newspaper from that day. Otherwise, you have to go to the public library, try to catch up with it, and I mean, it was a totally different time. It was totally different time. Back then I was totally lost, totally lost. If anything, I will just get home by whatever 9, 10 p.m. Watch the news, the propaganda, and that was it. But Elijah Muhammad, he knew how tremendous um, the the work was coming out from Malcolm X. He knew it because I mean, like in with Man in Marble, um, it tell you right there. He even met with I think 2 or 3 times he met over there in Africa with some of his children of Elijah Muhammad. So Elijah Muhammad was extremely well connected because he was considered to be a dignitary of the Nation of Islam in the United States. So he got access. He got a lot of access and stuff. And as a matter of fact, even even Elijah went to. That's another little book. I forgot the name of the little book that I read. That he got some challenges, and he was not very interested in going to Africa, and he got challenges and stuff. But once that Malcolm X went, then he became more interested, but not to that point. I think it just feel like it was more about um, about his position, and I guess interested in religion, because it was actually Malcolm who was able to open a lot of doors, take a lot of barriers, with the Sunnis and the Shiites and all these denominations, and and able to find out, like, oh, hey, this is what it is. And like they call it like, even just calling it temples. They call it temple, and over there, I mean, like call it mosque. They call, a lot of stuff, especially for the I don't know, the orthodoxia, or whatever it's called. It was like they can tell you they was doing it all wrong in the United States, according to you know the real Islam. And it's like, and actually, if now there's a lot of books and stuff on Farad, the one who taught Elijah Muhammad. Which, I mean, people. I mean, there's a lot of like lectures over there saying that the guy was not African. I mean, like straight up African. He was not Farad. So, I mean, all this stuff, I'm saying it because this high and mighty position that the NOI got today, and I mean, every time I see him, I buy the final call. And I mean, I I do obviously admire the fact that they was able to rescue a lot of men, from the drugs and whatnot. I don't particularly like right now. I'm not into it a lot of right now, because I mean, like, this is something that just happened like 20 years ago.
To express the supreme wisdom that we already have, but it's like having a safe full of riches, but we lost the combination. So through Brother L. Ron Hubbard, we can open the wisdom that we have and execute that wisdom in a way that Scientology will be proud of us and we of them, but we are not a people that hide our light.
Yeah. So it is. I mean, there's a lot of videos about that, and I mean that's a done deal. They actually have several buildings in Harlem. One they have a huge one on 125th Street, and I think it's between Second and First Avenue, or Second and Third. So it's like, and I mean, I also say this because the anti-Mexican rhetoric, it's going like, I mean, it make you laugh at like, even like 2 days ago, there's this channel, Pan-Africanism Strikes Back, another one. It's just like, when was the last time you got jumped by Mexicans? So he posted in on YouTube, because they got like a community section. Nobody said that. I didn't even know about that. I saw the video. Like, even Dr. Umar. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I don't watch television. I don't. But I just find that very crazy about the priorities that come out. And this, I have not even read it. I bought it, like I say, if I see it in the street, I see it in the newsstand, or I see the gentleman on 125th Street or on 3rd Avenue and 149th Street in the Bronx, or, I get it. I get it, because, I mean, it's like, compared to the other publications, this is a lot better. But open all the Malcolm X files. Come on. It's a little bit, like, what's it called? Sociopathic. I would say sociopathic. I mean, like, as you did everything, and you did everything to set the entire world against Malcolm X. Everything. And when I say everything, Elijah Muhammad writing letters all over the world that nobody should welcome Malcolm X, that nobody, for what? I mean, like, these documentaries should have been shut down, because look at the condition of African people all over the planet. Just like Dr. Clark, I always say, anti-blackness is the world's doctrine. So what is it? He didn't say it's just the Mexican doctrine. He said the whole planet doctrine. So what is it that anybody's doing to actually take this out? I mean, like, I mean, I replied to this channel, the African American Strike Back. I say, like, listen, I tell you what, if you take out your slave master, out of Mexico, I can guarantee you shit's gonna get better. For all the African diaspora, in Mexico and the United States. Why I say that? Because they are the ones that own all the media. They are the ones that own all the media. So if you come at me saying you're mad at Mexico and stuff like that, I am extremely enraged against African Americans because they won't lift a finger. They won't lift a finger to get their slave master, out of Latin America. It's all about, whining and crying and like, yeah, but, we are denouncing it. We've been denouncing these things, especially right now. I can say like probably at least half of Latin America is denouncing because there's social media and we know who is behind, all the troubles in Latin America. And that's the United States government. And that is the United States government. And that's probably, I come in full circle right now. That's why, there's this thing that I cannot even name around the Honorable Malcolm X as to keep him in a oh yes, we are very proud of him, but we don't want him to be an internationalist. Now that he's gone physically, he was a great internationalist, and the NOI knew about the great work that he was doing. Because especially at that point, like I said, they already got all this communication with all the chapters, all the chapters. Yeah, I don't want to say chapters, but the whole Islamic traditions. And it need to be called out. It need to be rejected because this shit is going to happen again. History repeat itself because of lack of awareness, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, overstanding of history. That is something that need to be called out. I mean, like, I stopped reading African American Twitter 3 years ago. So now I read every day African Twitter. Just because, there's nothing really coming out of the United States. Immediately, every time one of an African American, start like, a lot of times it's like, it's a scumbag. It's a scumbag, like, we have a new mayor here in New York City, and that is a piece of shit. And it's sad because he's surrounding himself by African American women. They're corrupt as hell, and the moment that we needed them the most, like, well, especially Jason Black and Professor Black Truth and Tariq, which talk about strange bedfellows, but it must be the same. It must be the same. That's just to say, like, these past 5 months, silence about the mayoral election that we got in November. And I think it was November. I forgot. It's always the first Tuesday of November. Silence. about a week ago, Professor Black Truth, he posted one video on Eric Adams and the new police commissioner. I mean, like, for what? You know, and then I posted, this shit is like at least 3 months late. We needed, to bring awareness in New York. I mean, they got the views. They got, I mean, I don't know how many views they got right now, but that to me was very depressing, because something is going on. Something going on. They always make videos about, Lori Lightfoot or whatever her name is, Bell Bottoms, and all those characters, but when it came down to the elections, especially the primary elections, it could have been like some help, I mean, like, but I don't know what's going on. But just going back to this documentary, I just feel like, what was the point? I still don't get the point of why making that documentary. Extremely depressing. Extremely depressing. I mean, like, just nothing. Like, but like I say, if you don't fund your own documentaries from beginning to end, then you have to, I mean, because the moral of the story would have been like, hey, religion have not helped. Racism, anti-blackness is still at an all-time high. And how do you know? Just look at the numbers. I mean, just over here, look, African Americans, by the numbers, how much property they own, how much wealth, how much black-owned business, and and there's black-owned business, and there's like, mom and pops, and just very, very depressing. But it's just like, it's a black-owned business, but it's not significant. It's not significant. I mean, like, as much as they are way overdue their reparations, they need to just demand equal participation across the board. Stop with that representation bullshit. It's like, oh, you got representation. You got representation. No, how about equal participation? I mean, in all aspects of life. I mean, it's like, I mean, after 400 years, you're going to say that, Europeans are like so mentally superior that's why they have all the money, they got all the land, they got all the narrative don't have any, it's just senseless. It's just senseless, that, and we're still running on it. We're still running on it. This narrative that it is because there's so much, there's just so much better, I mean, that's what they got all the wealth. They own all the news stations. They own, I mean, if they was to just get to say, okay, we just want one news station, and want it to be controlled by African Americans, as in, like in their own um, like I say, like elder, the council of elders, the council of, and that they are the ones who are controlling it, not Alan Byron Allen, whatever his name is, and his white wife. I mean, it's like, and that's across the board. That is across the board. Every time you find somebody who made it, it's because they got a white husband. I was watching the documentary with Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, and it's like, how she got where she got. Oh, she got a white boyfriend. Well, actually, pink. She got a pink boyfriend. And we are not even able to call that out. Shouldn't we have a much, much higher appreciation of the Honorable Malcolm X then? Because see, right now we cannot even call out all these alleged, African Americans. I mean, they might look normal, but I'm telling you, most of the ones that they got the power, either they are married to white or they are biracial. And that's something that's still very keep like hush hush. And that goes across the board and everywhere. In Mexico is the same shit. In Mexico is the same shit. Like, like, oh, it's Mexican, whatever, like, oh, his mom is white. Or some BS like that. They're biracials. They might not look it, but that is the real pandemic. That everybody, like over here in the last elections I'm just talking about, 31 women, won public office. 31. Because they give us $7. For $1 we get donation, the city give us $7 more because of the disparity. Some bitches over here, nobody ever saw them. Like over here, District 14 in the Bronx, the one that won the election, Farina Chances, that never left her office, never did an event, nothing. And she got the nomination. She won without her, nobody ever coming out. Why? Because all these leeches, what they do is just they work through the non-profit industrial complex, the community-based organizations. All they gotta do is just emails. Bitch, if you scratch my back, I scratch yours. So nobody else get a chance. Nobody else get a chance because you're already like, oh yes, we're gonna be like, with this one. We're gonna be we're already over here, and sure enough, once she get the seat, it's gonna rain. So crooked. And actually you got these members of the NOI in the documentary saying, oh, how you dare you go after Elijah Muhammad, blah blah blah. Just even Muhammad Ali's brother. Even Muhammad Ali's brother. I mean, who the hell is Elijah Muhammad today? Nobody known. Nobody remember him. Nobody care. Other than the NOI. But it's like, oh, why is like he said, one of the NOI, he's just the messenger. He can have a freaking mess. He can impregnate all these little girls and no problem. I'm saying that because I'm telling you, this is the moral superiority that Malcolm was always speaking from. The moral authority that none of these feminist sperm buckets, they even know what that is. And they go like, just life is hard. We make decisions. Well, like Malcolm X said, to have been a criminal, that's no shame. To continue being crooked and deceitful and liar, that's disgusting. That's all I have to say right now. How do you turn this thing off?